So, I have I got Red Dead Redemption 2, and the story was great. It was amazing. The best story I've ever played by far. Had characters I actually cared about, and characters I hated. God, there were some characters I really hated. But then, right, they announced the online. I'm like, oh sweet. When does it come out? They say late November. It comes out like 3 days at the end, right? Which is, typical Rockstar, really pushing their deadline. And the Red Dead Online came out, and I get that it's a beta, and every single time that I make a criticism, people just say, "Oh, it's a beta." Well, it's like, yeah, it's a beta, so you criticize it and you fix it. But this doesn't feel like a beta. This feels like something that you would play to test out a game engine. It just doesn't feel complete. And originally, I wasn't gonna make a video, a whole video on this. I was just gonna, type up a document and send it to Rockstar about my complaints about the beta and what that they needed to fix, a whole bunch of tweaks here and there. But surprisingly, they didn't have an email that you could send it to. To get the email, you had to. It was this long process. So I'm just gonna make this video in hopes that a Rockstar employee sees it. So I'm gonna start out with the pros, the ups of the game. So it's not really a spoiler, but if you've played it, if you've played the story, you would know that Sean's in the online. You just saw him. That's Sean. He's a character. He's in the online. He's the only one I've encountered. Again, not a spoiler, but it is cool. That's probably the best thing I like about the online is Sean. He was personally my favorite character. And his missions tend to be best. Now, what you just saw is I went up and I accepted a mission from Sean, right? Well, I accepted it, but I still haven't gotten the mission. So I'm just kind of wandering around going, okay, so, like, what the fuck is going on? Am I going to get my mission? Or, here it is. Okay, so it finally pops up. Most of the time, whenever it does that, whenever, you go up to a character and try to get a mission, and if it doesn't pop up, you just don't get the mission. You're shit out of luck. So this mission is basically, I just have to go and kill 3 other players. It's pretty simple. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about my critiques of the game. So another pro, by the way, the cons heavily outweigh the pros, but another pro that I like is the player interaction. Unlike GTA Online, not everyone's just going around slaughtering everyone, it's actually an enjoyable experience. No, you walk up to somebody and they don't just kill you outright, they'll maybe even invite you to their posse, or they'll wave at you, or maybe they'll just kind of acknowledge your existence. But it's nice to just be able to interact with another player, not just immediately get killed. And it's a bit ironic that I'm going around killing other players as I'm talking about this, but it's my mission. I don't normally do this, but it's what I'm supposed to do. Another pro that I would consider, now most people would consider it a con, but the player customization, I really like it. I think it's realistic, like many aspects of the game. A lot of people, they look at the character customization, and after they're done creating their character looks fucked up. Their character doesn't look like 10 out of 10 gorgeous celebrity, and they go, oh, the player customization's fucked up. Well, this is back in, the late 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, people didn't look attractive back then. Their face looked fucked up, like it just did. It looked fucked up. And it really gives a sense of variety with all of the, all of your players and all of the friends that you encounter, because they don't all look the same like they did in GTA. Everyone just looked the same. Granted, they had varying details with their hair, and some people had bigger cheekbones and yada yada yada. But it was very subtle differences here. Like, you can really customize your character. Like, I made my character a fat guy, mainly because I assumed that most people weren't going to do that, and I thought it was unique. But that that's really all the pros. The fact that Sean's in the game, the player interaction, and the character customization. I'm not going to include any pros that are in the story. Like, obviously, like, this is a great game. You know, the hunting is great, the story's great. The combat's a bit clunky. I'm not really gonna label that as a con, really, just because that's how Rockstar games are. That's their engine. It's not something that they can fix. So I'm not really gonna bring up that. But before I get to the cons, I want to, well, this is kind of a con, but it's more of a bigger one. I want to get to the economy of the game. The economy of the story and the online are very different. Very, very different. Like, for example, whenever you would kill an NPC in the story, you would loot them. Sometimes you'd get $2, $5, $10, $20, right? And a gun would cost about, I'd say maybe 100, 200, 300 or 400 at the most. Right here in the online, you're lucky to get 10 cents from an enemy, right? Whenever you kill them, 10 cents compared to $2. And you would think, oh, well, they just adjusted. They would just make the guns a lot cheaper. No, they made them a lot more expensive. Some of the guns cost $1,000. $1,000. And you might go, oh, well, the missions must pay you good, right? No, you get like $2 a mission. So averaging at $2 a mission, $1,000 a gun, that's 500 missions for a gun. 500 missions for a gun, which they said that this was less grindy than GTA. I'd like to point out something. Whenever people first get GTA, they rob a couple of liquor stores, get a good 15, 20 grand, and then they're able to go buy a gun, because there's guns that cost 10, 15 grand. Here, you do 20, 30 missions, and you'll have like $40, which isn't even enough to buy the cheapest, shittiest gun there. Which in GTA Online, you would do like 2 or 3 liquor stores, not even missions, just liquor stores. It takes you like 5 minutes to do, and you could get one of the better weapons there. So they said that it was less grindy, but this definitely seems a lot more grindy. Now, granted, it is the beta. The heists, I'm assuming that they're gonna have, something equivalent to heists. The heists aren't out yet. Obviously it's the beta. I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to go and rob some trains, some banks with my friends. That would be fun. That's why I'm playing the online, so I can go do those types of things, because that's fucking fun. That just sounds fun, robbing a train with all of your friends. So, and I'm assuming that you'd get a decent amount of money from that. So, I guess if they kind of put that in, then the economy would be fixed. But then again, if they made it to where you got all of your money from robbing a train and doing heists, what's the point of doing anything else if it pays shit? So they need to find a balance. Rockstar, you need to tweak it, because right now, if it continues at the pace, I'm not going to continue playing. This is going to be a very short-lived experience. And Rockstar tried to say, oh, well, the economy's shit, so we'll fix it by giving you $120 at level 10. Right, once you hit level 10, you get a treasure chest, or a map to a treasure chest, and you go get it, and you get $120, right? Well, why don't you just spread that 120 out through the game? Like out through missions. Instead of giving us $120, why don't you just make it to where we get a few dollars per mission increase? It doesn't really feel like I earned it. You're just giving me money because it's all fucked. So I don't really get that. I'm kind of a lazy fix. I still haven't even bought a gun. I've been playing for 4 or 5 days now. I still don't even have one. I'm using the shitty default guns you get at the beginning of the game. I'm saving up. I'm saving up for a gun that's $360. It's a rifle, and I still haven't gotten that. So even with the $120 that you get at level 10, I still haven't gotten it. So the cons, right? See, this really, I just don't get Rockstar, because the list here that I have of cons just outweighs the pros just so heavily, like 4 or 5 to 1. They took so much out of the story. or so much out of the game that was in the story. Like, for example, in the story, you were able to walk up to somebody and rob them. You could just fly. Okay, my recording took a dump halfway through. But anyways, in the story, you could rob people. You'd walk up to them, you'd point your gun at them, you'd go, give me your money. They'd either, give you their money or they'd try to kill you, right? A very simple mechanic. Yeah, that's not in this. You can't go up to an NPC and rob them. Can't. Which I don't really see why that's not in the game. Like, that's a pretty simple thing, and there's a lot of simple things like that that just aren't in the game, and I'm just not getting it. Another thing, right, is, which, like, you would kind of think that, like, this would be, like, common sense, but I tried fishing on a canoe. You can't. You can't fish on a canoe. Why can't you fish on a canoe? What? That just doesn't make any sense. You also, in the story, you were able to go out, find wild horses, and make them your own, which was really cool. Like, it gave you a sense of ownership and pride, like, yeah, I worked for this. Right? You go out, you find a horse, you level it up, you increase your bonding, your bonding, its speed, stamina, all that goes up. But in here, whenever you go and you tame a wild horse, and you bring it back to your stables, it says you can't bring wild horses into the stables and you can't tame them. So you have to go out and buy a horse. You want one. You also can't take your saddle off of your horse to put it on another one. Which is another one of the ways in the story that you would tame wild horses. You would, tame it, and to make it your own, you would take your saddle off of your main horse, put it on the wild horse, and then it became one of your horses. You can now use it. Can't do that. You can't do that for whatever reason. And it pains me because 76 and this both came out at the same time. 76 bombed, like, without a doubt. Fallout 76 did terrible. And the story for this was just so good. I thought that the whole Guarma chapter was a bit iffy. But other than that, the story was great. God, I get fucking blasted here. That's another thing that I didn't talk about earlier. I went and got another mission from Sean. And the mission was for me to assassinate that guy. And the mission popped up. But then, like, it went away, and, like, I killed him, and I'm standing here. I'm like, all right, where's my mission rewards? And at this point, I was like, all right, the missions keep on glitching, so I'm just going to go and have fun in town. I kind of look around. I go, are there any other missions nearby? Yeah, there's Sean, but his keeps on glitching. So I decided to go into Blackwater and continue to kill the people who are probably going to chase me down because I just killed one of their guys. But another thing, right? And all of these that I'm explaining, I haven't even gotten into the bugs of the game yet. These are just all mechanics, or lack thereof. So let me get into another thing that I wasn't really a fan of. A while back, we had some leaked information that, like GTA Online, you were going to break out of jail at the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, that's gonna be so cool. I was thinking it was gonna be... Oh, side note, horses are fucking clunky. Watch this. I try to jump over the fence. Nope. Fucking L. Anyways, yeah. So I load in, right? My character's in prison, with the pickaxe, chopping up rocks. And guard comes along, points at me and 3 other people, says, all right, we're going to go do whatever. We're going to leave the prison, go do some contract work. And I'm like, all right, I'm in the back of a prison cart. Maybe I'm going to it's going to be like a puzzle to escape, get like a lock pick. Get my handcuffs, find some way to distract the guards, then find a way to shoot off the lock. That's what was going on in my head. And we're in a cutscene. We're riding down a road. And instead of me breaking out of prison, the cutscene is some random dude stops the carriage, puts their guns at the guards, tells them to let us out, and then the guy wanted me specifically to come with him. And I'm like, so what was the point of that? To set up the plot? Well, the story for the rest of the online sucks anyways, so I don't even know why you would really need a setup. So I'm like, well, that was fucking pointless. I was so excited for the beginning, and it didn't work. And I thought about it. You would have a whole bunch of retards that would have a hard time, if you had to, like, manually do it. Like, you have to do that before you can play the game. And you know that there's gonna be a whole bunch of fucking retards who wouldn't be able to figure it out, and they wouldn't be able to play the game. So it's probably why that they didn't do that, unfortunately. So, onto the bugs, right? Me personally, right, I've experienced a lot of bugs, but there's one big one. There's one really big bug. So, in in Red Dead Online, you have a giant free roam map, and then you have a whole bunch of missions that you can do. This is really clean, by the way. There were 3 of them in the back. I throw the dynamite to kill one, and the other 2 split up, and I just pick them off, and I was really proud of that. And as fuck. Granted, I get dropped by some guy from behind, but really clean. Anyways, you have these, this giant free roam world, beautiful. It even has, the Red Dead Redemption 1 world inside of it. Amazing. And then, within the world, you have different things you can do. There's 3 main things. There's stranger quests, which are basically fetch quests, basically. They're things that you do in the world. They don't disconnect you and take you to something else into matchmaking or anything. You just go up, you accept the quest, and you go do it. Then you have online missions, like PvP. They even have a battle royale, which a lot of people are hating on. It's such a small feature, you really shouldn't be hating on it. And then we have the main story missions. I can't do the PvP or the main story missions. I can only do the stranger missions. Anytime that I do a mission that takes me out of free roam and puts me in to like a matchmaking queue, I end up disconnecting before I can finish the mission, right? And you may be thinking, oh, well, you have shit internet, right? No. It gives you an error code. And I went online, I typed in the error code, and apparently this is happening to a shit ton of people. And something similar to this happened whenever GTA Online launched. Didn't happen to me, but it's happening to me now. And so I'm like, all right, let me try to troubleshoot this. I didn't really find anything on the internet of how to fix it, but I did, my own troubleshooting. I restarted my router. I gave it 4 days. 4 days for it just to fix itself. Then I did a hard reset on my Xbox. I changed my DNS server. I went from wired connection to wireless, then back to wired. And I tried changing my port. That honestly probably wouldn't fix it, but I went and tried to do it, and it's just so complicated to do on Xbox. You have to fuck with your router, and just all this shit. So I just didn't bother fucking with it, as it probably wasn't going to fix it anyways. And I have a 350 megabyte per second download speed, which, if you know anything about internet and connection, you would know that's a pretty solid download speed. And so I haven't really been able to properly play the game. There's also, many other bugs, like I'll be riding my horse up like a very, just a hill that very gradually goes up. It's not steep at all, and my horse will just skid down it and fall back as if it's too steep. It's like, well, there's a trail going up the hill. Why can't I go up this? And for whatever reason, it just doesn't let me go up. And I just don't know. It's just, this game is just so buggy. so many things wrong with this game, Rockstar. You really gotta get your shit together. Like, really.
So, as I was recording this video, and editing it, I heard that they were going to be fixing the economy of the game, which was one of my complaints of just really how shit the online is. So that's in the works, but I really doubt that they're going to fix it to the extent that they need it to be, in my opinion. I'd also thought I recorded some really good gameplay to put at the end of this. Like, this video was supposed to be 10 minutes longer, but some of it ended up getting lost or somehow, so. But, I hope Rockstar watches this, because this is really just to give feedback to them, because again, I couldn't send them an email with the document I made. But I just hope that they get this shit on track.